As our learners move up to upper intermediate and higher levels, we and they see that they've accumulated certain errors that just don't seem to want to go away. We call these fossilized errors. And obviously, when something gets absolutely stuck, what we need to do is attack it in a different way to the normal attempts at eliminating student errors. So when I see that an error is fossilized and it's common to the whole class, then what I do is use the strategy I call flavors of the month. Essentially, with flavors of the month, my students and I agree on 2 or 3 target errors that we're going to work at very hard in the following weeks in order to eliminate. We make a space on the class board for these target errors, and when anyone is spotted committing one of these errors, they have to write it out and it goes up onto the class board as an example of what we need to eliminate. The second strategy, and the most frequent, is to do with individual students and their own worries about particular errors. Here I use what I initially called the error sheet, but my students began to call the horror sheet, because essentially it's a sheet of paper that they keep with them and on which they write down the errors that really do make them feel desperate about ever learning good English. Here's what one of my students actually said about this horror sheet. The lista de horrores is the sheet where I note down all of the mistakes that make me hold my head in my hands and cry. What both of these activities have in common is that they make the students responsible for the elimination of these fossilized errors. In addition, they're focusing on selected errors. And finally, they're personalizing this focus on these selected errors. My experience is that by using these 2 activities, these fossilized errors quite quickly disappear.